guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 15 interior design home hacks for creating a beautiful kitchen on a budget. My name is Tiffany Gemmer. I'm a Washington realtor with a love for interior design, and I have a lot of experience creating beautiful spaces on a budget. When I first had the idea to share these tips with you, I was going to look around my house and pick my top 15, and I realized I just could not do that. I have too much that I want to share with you. So this is going to be part one of a series where I walk you through rooms in our home and share the interior design hacks that I've used to create a beautiful space on a budget. Just a quick heads up, we have lived in this home for 6 years. We have 3 kiddos. We love to entertain. So you may see some scuffs, scratches, fingerprints on windows. We are going to keep it real here. I hope you will come away feeling inspired, realizing that you can create beautiful spaces on a budget. So this is what the home looked like when we first saw it, when we went to go tour it. It was definitely stuck in the 90s, but I could see potential there. I loved the size. I loved the big window over the kitchen sink, and I saw a lot of potential in the space. And this is what it looks like now. I love how bright and airy it is. We opened up a wall between the dining room and the kitchen. And here are my tips for you. Tip 1 is to wrap your windows. I love the look of wood wrapped windows, but the reality is we just didn't have it in our budget. One day I was out in the garage and we had a pile of trim that we had pulled off from around the house, and it was getting ready to go to the dump, and I had an idea to try to wrap the windows with them. So I framed around the window, and then I caulked and painted the inside of the sill. And when you step back, I really think it gives the effect of nice wood wrapped windows. If you aren't going to be replacing your trim, it may be worth hopping online to see if somebody's giving away their old trim so you can do this. Next is this soffit above the kitchen cabinets. I would love to have cabinets that go all the way to the ceiling, but you just never know what is hidden behind that soffit, and we really didn't have it in the budget to buy new cabinets. So what we decided to do is carefully sand off the texture on the drywall and use mud to make a really smooth surface. We then primed and painted the soffit the same color and sheen as the cabinets. It gives a nice seamless look, and it keeps the eye moving upward. Next, we added glass to this cabinet. So what we did is we cut out the center, keeping the frame intact, and then we added glass to the front, and we added a glass shelf. Okay, so let's talk about painting oak cabinets. We did not want the wood grain coming through. So what we did is we used a lot of filler. We would fill and sand, and then we would prime, paint, sand, prime, paint, sand. We did a lot of coats on it. We did achieve the nice smooth finish that we were going for, but unfortunately, it's not super durable. In hindsight, I kind of wish that we had just refaced or got new cabinet fronts, but we did achieve the look we were going for on a tight budget. We also added some new cabinet hardware. Cabinet hardware is surprisingly cheap on Amazon, so that is where we got that, and you definitely get a lot of bang for your buck. And as you can see here, the cabinets that we use most often are showing a lot of wear, so we're going to have to address that before we go to sell. Next, I would encourage you to incorporate things into your design that you can't move or change. In this case, this post, we wanted it out of there, but it was structural, so we just had to work with it. So what we did is built our island around it, we stained it, and we trimmed it in, and it kind of turned it from an eyesore into somewhat of a feature in our home. Next, we built an island. So you can buy pre-made, pre-assembled cabinets and make an island with it. In this case, my husband is quite handy, so he put it together from scratch himself, but you can absolutely create an island easily from pre-assembled cabinets. Next, we added under cabinet lighting. Accent lighting is really huge in a space. When I was studying design, I found it really interesting that designers are very intentional with light and using light at different levels in a room to create interest. So when we went to build these floating shelves, I really wanted light that went all the way from the bottom of the counter all the way up to the ceiling. So what my husband did is planned ahead and wired accordingly, and he routed out a spot for under cabinet lights in these shelves and also routed out a spot for one on top, and we topped it with plexiglass. For a higher end, more custom look in a kitchen, carry your tile all the way up to the ceiling. And that is what we did here. And because this was going to be in direct sunlight, when we were choosing an edging for the sides of the tile there, instead of going with a plastic trim, we went with a white metal so we wouldn't have to worry about it yellowing or getting brittle and breaking. The next thing you can do to really take your kitchen and elevate it is to think of those items that you use every day and be intentional to make them look nice. I could have very easily gone with a black Keurig here and that would have been just fine, but it would have stuck out like a sore thumb in my kitchen. So just little changes, making your soap dispenser and your paper towel holder look nice, things like that can really make a difference in the space and make it feel intentional. And this leads me to my next tip. Unfortunately, earlier this year, we had a beautiful willow tree that came crashing down on our window. Thankfully, it only came through one window pane. One thing that a lot of people are not aware of is you don't have to replace the entire window. There's something called reglazing where you just replace the glass. It is significantly cheaper than replacing the entire window. Next is lighting size. Now, I like these pendant lights, but when I ordered them, I did not measure. And because I was in a hurry to get my kitchen done, I didn't return them. So this is on my to-do list to get some larger pendant lights. Another easy way to update your space on a budget is to swap the can light trim out. If you go down to an electrical supply, it's generally cheaper than the hardware store. So swapping those out for something that is more modern is going to update the space. Next, you can paint a chandelier. So this is one that I ordered, and when it came, it was actually an oil rubbed bronze, and I really wanted a true black. So I just taped it off and spray painted it, and I was really happy with the end result. When you go shopping for table and chairs, the higher end ones definitely come with a pretty hefty price tag. So I love the Restoration Hardware tables, and I found this table at the Goodwill outlet for $9.99, and I decided it was worth a gamble. I would see what I could do with it. What I did is I just mixed up a bunch of different stains, and much to my husband's chagrin, I also mixed in some white chalk paint. Once I got it looking like I wanted it to, I then put several coats of a polyurethane on, and it's been a great table for us. Next, I found these vintage chairs, and I paid, I believe it was around $250 total, and I got 6 chairs. We painted them, and I recovered the seats with a faux leather from Hobby Lobby, and they have been wonderful. They are the look that I was going for with durability and at a fraction of the price. And now I am going to officially give you permission to ignore the trends. When I was looking at flooring, the trend was definitely a light flooring, but I was so drawn to this dark, and I'm so glad that I did what I really wanted to do. It is okay to go against the trend. Do what you really want to do. That is the beauty of home ownership. You get to make it how you want it. However, the real estate agent in me will add to that it's probably a good idea to keep resale in mind when making your design decisions. So that renovation, including flooring, countertops, appliances, fixtures, tile, everything, cost us just under $10,000. Of course, that was 6 years ago, and my husband is quite handy, so that definitely helped with the budget. One little bonus tip for you is if you have a knowledgeable, trusted realtor near you, that's one resource that a lot of people don't think about. They may know of a great countertop company or flooring company. If you are interested in more content like this, or if you have any questions, please feel free to comment below, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my next video. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.